Okay, recording's on.
All right, let me introduce you guys. We got the Satoshi Show, a couple general friends of mine in the industry, and I'm just calling leaders right now first to hear about this program, and Troy and David are definitely worthy of your time. JD is a part
Oh,
one of the brains behind this new business you're going to hear about or get your questions answered. So, I've been at MLM game 35 years. I've had the seven-figure years, and it's time to do it again. Uh, this is a horrible environment we're in now with the coronavirus, but there's a lot of people that we could help, make some money while they're staying at home. And I think this program's ideal for the experienced people like us as well as the newbies that will join this thing. So, Troy, meet JD. I've known Troy for a while. Him and his partner JD run webinars for hundreds of people, and if they like this, they'll tear it up, man. So,
great. Well, before anyone else starts talking, let me first preface and say everybody's worthy of my time, Barry.
okay.
So, yeah, I'm not too. I don't have too high of an opinion of myself to have conversations online, but I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you guys taking a look. I think that you will definitely like what you see. There's a lot of thought, a lot of time, a lot of hard work that's gone into this, and the customer and the ease of use and the fairness and the simplicity, all of that's always been in the forefront. So it will be simple, it will be fair, and it will be lucrative.
Well, what's your background, JD? Just give us a little clue. Do you work in programming
I
or?
do. Since my mid-20s, it's been software development, oil and gas, accounting, software, mostly MLM software. Before that, I was with Mutual of New York, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and figured out very quickly that was not something I was going to enjoy because you've got to sell products that aren't appropriate for people in order to make any money. So I bailed out of that pretty quickly. Shortly after 9/11 happened and the market tanked, and I did not want to pressure people into buying something they didn't want. So mostly software development and mostly MLM software.
Right on. um, I like your site. I like your setup for the comp plan, your videos on your oneclicktrading-system.com. We haven't had a chance to use this software yet. Could you
No.
tell us, it says that it'll make up to 100 trade recommendations a day. Out of those 100 trade recommendations, how many are winners and how many are losers on average?
Yeah. Well, the biggest, then we get that question a lot. One, we're not open yet. Two, our results will be posted on the front page of the website. So rather than everyone shouting out different numbers where it's 99% winners and things like that, it will just be posted on the homepage. All indications and everything that we've done, it's beyond 50%, definitely justifiable. And, it's good. It'll be a constantly changing environment. What this past week has shown us was that there needs to be more software added. What I mean by that is you can trade, Ethereum to Monero to Doge and all these different coins, but when the market falls like it has, as sharply as it has, there needs to be additional options for people to exit and just go into USDT or TUSD for just getting out of the market. And that needs to be done quickly and efficiently and easily for all of our customers. So there's a lot that's going into it beyond just trading.
Yeah, we all saw that crash. I mean, a lot of people thought that, it was BitMEX caused it. They originally reported a hardware failure, and then they saw they had a DDoS attack on the 13th. And so the market crashed a little bit because, you know, the stock market crashed, the gold crashed over coronavirus fears. But then when it looked like it established the bottom, it kept on going down. And I think that was part of that DDoS attack on BitMEX. What do you think about that?
I think that there was a global panic, and I think the bigger portion of it, just my opinion, everybody just wanted to be in cash. And what's crazy is I've had bought and sold my share of metal, precious metal, and that was always supposed to be the reserve. You know, when the world goes to hell in a handbasket, we all look towards metal as a you know, a tangible asset that would withstand a pandemic or a zombie attack or nuclear attack or anything.
I like the zombie
it
attack.
Didn't. Yeah, it didn't, and that was a surprise. So, you know, I think that I think the coronavirus highlighted some real needs for some global communications and transparency. You know, we all live on the same planet. We got to take care of each other. So it could have been worse. I do think it's on a downswing. I think things are getting better, or I guess that would be an upswing. And I think, you know, there's a lot of work to be done, but crypto fell apart, gold and silver fell apart, the Dow NASD fell apart. Cash is the only thing that survived. And that's surprising. So anybody that had their eyes glued to what was happening made a lot of money last week. And fortunately, that was the case for a lot of us that were paying attention. But it was not the case for the average person. They all lost money in the stock market. They all lost money in crypto. And, you know, there's a lot more to this than just the trading. Our objective, Troy, David, I don't know how much you looked into it, but the graphics that you see on the homepage where it just has the one hand pushing the little target, that's as complicated as we want our system to be. Okay. The indicators behind it, the algorithms behind it, the charts and the stochastic RSI and EMA and MACD, all of the things that go into a professional trading, you know, what they look at, we do that. Okay. But what's missing in the crypto sphere is the ease of use for someone to get started, the ease of use for someone to actually trade. So we take all that functionality, reduce it down to a single click in a push notification in an app. So when we see Monero's down relative to Bitcoin or relative to Tether, we send out a push notification to someone's phone or website or tablet or whatever. And that push notification says, click here, and we'll take this trade for you. So when they click that button, it executes the buy order. It creates the trailing stop loss, and it monitors that trailing stop loss. So you're minimizing your downside risk, not preventing it outright, but you're minimizing it, and you're maximizing your upside swing. So when they take that trade, that's the end of it. Okay, it's not a situation where you set it and forget it and all the things that that the regulators look at and get worried about. It's just the user initiates the trade. The user maintains control of all their crypto. We never touch it. We actually don't use the API if it's set up to where there can even be a withdrawal on it, right? It's got to be done right. So the user maintains control. When the sale happens, we pay out commissions instantly. You know, everything that the past 5 years in MLM networking crypto has shown us, people don't want to hand over their crypto. People don't want to learn how to be a day trader. They don't want to memorize the difference between a 10, 25, 50 EMA and a 15, 30, 60 EMA. They don't want to know that. And quite frankly, I don't either. I love math, right? And I love trading. But I did it for the purpose of learning the difference between easy and hard. And there's no reason, especially with crypto, that a user's experience can't be extremely simple, if not ridiculously simple, right? Push the button, put your phone back in your pocket, another signal will come along. If you want to take the trade, push your button, put your phone back in your pocket, and that's it. You want to take a nap, you want to set your settings to, I'm at dinner with my family, don't buzz, no problem, right? But it can be that easy, and with us it is. Take all the confusion out and just push the button.
So,
I like that. Oh, sorry, David, go ahead.
well, just one quick question, and that is the couple of things that was mentioned, and Troy mentioned about hundreds of trades. So is that, if we were to do 100 trades, that would mean we were to click it 100 times, right? Just
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And then the next question that I have is that you have your own funds and all that, and you talk about one click. Let's just say that I had, 50 Bitcoins in, well, I wish I did, knock on wood or something.
Yeah.
Let's say I had 50
Cross your
Bitcoins.
fingers, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's say I had like 50 Bitcoins in my blockchain or something, and I do this one click. Is there some mechanism that says that I only want to do a quarter of a Bitcoin, or it just takes my whole
Oh
account?
yeah, no, yeah. It's literally a perfect scenario. So you have defaults that the user defines. One, how much do you want to put at risk per trade? So if you wanted to do a $20 trade, every time you click the button, you just enter that I'm doing $20 trades. If you wanted to do $22 or $25 or $250 or $5,000, you define that as a user, and it only happens when you say it happens. Okay, so it's just a default. You can set up parameters. We're not going to ask people to define their trailing stop loss percentage. Okay, forgive me for asking this question. You're familiar with the trailing stop?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're not going to ask people, do you want to be 2%? Do you want to be 10? Do you want to be 15? Do you want to be 20? They don't know. Some people do. Most people don't. So we provide the expertise, the knowledge, etc. We ask a user, how much do you want to trade? Okay. We ask them for their API information so that when they click with us, it executes their trade, but we don't touch their money. We don't touch their crypto. But that API allows us to interface with their exchange on their behalf.
Okay, so what exchanges do you use right now?
We've got 18 at our disposal right now. We're going to use 3 just for simplicity. They're what I call small, medium, large: Binance, Bittrex, and HitBTC.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of the smaller exchanges, small to mid-sized exchanges. I'd rather be a big fish in a small pond than vice versa. Yeah, so
Right
Bittrex,
on.
Binance, and HitBTC are the ones we're starting with.
So if everybody's pushing the button at the same time, does it take everybody's orders at the same strike price? I'm just worried about if this gets large, are we going to have trouble filling orders?
Well, we're going to have problem filling orders if just by the sheer numbers. So we won't push signals for low volume coins, and at the same time, we can't, if there's not enough of a coin to buy, like right now, we're not open. We're not trading. I've talked to Barry for the last several days, and we've known each other for a couple of years, so he understands the seriousness for us to be this far down the path with an imminent launch. He recognizes, because we know each other, where we're at. It's my objective to keep it a secret, to not have to answer the question, when are we launching? When are we launching? We intentionally didn't tell anybody about it, and the cat kind of got out of the bag a little bit, which is why we're talking. But the plan is, I don't think it's possible that we'll have less than 5,000 people the first month. I don't think that's possible, because I know the market. I know, Crypto Hopper, 3 Commas. I know what's out there. I know how many people they have, how many users they have. outside of MLM. And with our simplicity, it's going to grow.
Okay. Another question I have on my mind. I've been trading, Forex and commodities, futures and options, the stock market for 30 years, but only recently got into crypto. Maybe 2016, I started trading crypto.
Right.
And I've noticed, over the last 4 years that crypto doesn't respond to the historic indicators that the other markets respond to. The only thing I've found that the crypto market can accurately predict it by is volume. Do you use volume as an indicator?
RSI, yeah.
Okay.
The relative strength index, RSI, and two facets. One, just the regular 70-30 in conjunction with others like the EMAs, and then the stochastic, which kind of facilitates the same thing as the EMA. So we look at volume in a lot of different ways. Outright volume, meaning if the coin's on an exchange and it hasn't had even a Bitcoin's worth of trading volume, then that's not a signal that we would produce regardless of movement. Because, one guy spending $200 is an entire day's volume and there were no other trades. It's not something that would have any kind of realistic or, data that you would want to trade on. It's just a guy bought a random coin and it might double the volume, but it's not something that would be.
Yeah, this is kind of my opinion, but
yeah.
When a whale comes in the market,
right,
and makes a big purchase,
mm-hmm.
The price always follows that purchase, that volume.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any way of seeing when the whales come in the market?
Well, there's not a software in the world that can predict, the return of Satoshi or, something like that. If I've got $10 million in my bank account, when I buy Bitcoin with it, can't be predicted unless I tell people. But if, there's a guy that's dollar cost averaging $1 million here, $1 million here, $1 million here, and he's trading, it's possible to predict that if it's kind of rhythmic. What's more relevant is, the upswings and the downswings and taking that data and predicting there's more people want to buy it right now than sell it, or more people want to sell it than buy it. You can't predict when a whale comes in, but you can monitor his movement.
Right. And that's what I was trying to get at. Now, is this software something that you program manually depending on the market conditions and man 24/7, or is there any machine learning or AI built into it?
It's a combination. We produce signals automatically based on trading algorithms. We also have people that are professional traders also monitoring, and there's the ability to create a manual signal. So then we take both scenarios and compare them against each other. That shows us if our professional traders are worth their weight. And it also shows us if the signals that we're creating are in line with seasoned professionals. So they're weighted against each other. So it's both.
JD, if we
Sure.
may go back to, because I don't, maybe you answered it and I didn't catch it all the way, but when Troy mentioned about, lots of people on the system and doing this one click, and there may not be enough, you guys have some type of safeguard?
Well, we do. And that's a good question. One, if we got to the point where we bought out Ethereum on Binance or USTD or any particular coin, I can't even imagine us pushing out a signal and $100 billion moves, right? That's pretty incredible. If we got to that point, we definitely did it right. but something would have to have changed along the way. So let's just take an example where we're on a small exchange and it's Monero and Doge, right? There's not a whole lot of either of those relative to Binance that would be on HitBTC, so it's smaller. And we push out a signal, and let's say we had 30,000 people take a average size $20 trade. Okay, that would definitely affect the volume on that exchange. So as a responsible software company and ethical, the big emphasis on ethical, we would have to throttle two things. One, the frequency of signals, and then two, how many signals go out, where we're not dictating the volume. You can be a market maker, and then you can be, the guy behind the curtain pulling the strings. It's not really ethical, like in a pump and dump situation. We don't want to have 500 pump and dumps a day, right? That we'd all go to jail. Anybody that even heard of us would all, it's wrong. We're not going to do it. But if we can look at the data in the exchange and say, this coin is undervalued, this coin is overvalued, and we let people know that. For us to have significant influence, let's just say we had 10,000 users. Okay, in the networking scheme, and not scheme, but in the networking arena, 10,000 users, let's say that's a successful network marketing company. We've all seen 100,000 and a million, but let's just say 10,000. The users have to initiate the trade. Okay, so for someone to do that, that cuts it. Out of our 10,000 user base, a third of them are going to be asleep, just because it's global, and a third of them are going to be asleep. Half of them won't have their phone in their hand, and our signals are only available for 6 minutes because we don't want people taking old trades.
That was my next question, but thank you for answering it.
Sure. So that would eliminate another, let's say, third. So we're down to only a third of the people that could take it actually take it, right? So with 10,000 people in our company, which I think that we can fully expect to be a lot more than that, without sounding, superlative and using EST at the back of every adjective I come up with. I think that's realistic. Okay. We make adjustments by the frequency of signals, and then the volume of signals that we send out to people. So we have to, we will throttle it back if we have to. It's a very good idea, and with the simplicity, what we're trying to do, it's definitely going to attract a lot of customers.
Well, when you say you throttle, it sounds like if you have 10,000 users and you're going to throttle that, you're only going to send the signal to a certain amount of users. Why can't you do something like where you send it all out, and when it reaches a certain amount, when they click on it, it says this is not a trade anymore or something,
Yeah.
That way it gives the people who are always on their phone an opportunity to always do that. And the people who, monitor it once in a while, they don't get the opportunity because they're just not, active. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. And that's a great idea. That's been discussed. Exactly what you just said is a perfect idea, perfectly reasonable response to that. There's some people that are very ninja-like with their phones and will take every trade. Yeah, there you go. It's always handy. So we don't want to punish people for doing exactly what we tell them to do. So yeah, you're exactly right, David.
Keep in mind, you didn't mention this. If I have $200 in the market and I'm placing $20 trades, I'm good for 10 signals to be in 10 trades.
Right.
Not 100 or 150 that come that day.
Right.
Yeah, but what JD was kind of mentioning, and over what I was asking, was that you send out the signal, and whoever reaches it first will get into it. And if you guys see the volume has already reached a certain amount, then anybody who takes action later, it's like a first come first serve type deal. I mean, you can't expect, because if you do it where you're only going to send out a signal to certain people, then the other people don't have the opportunity. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, it wouldn't be always the same people. It would just say we've got, because if in a situation we've got hundreds of signals to send out, you can go by ID, you can go by who's active, whose app is in their hand. There's a lot of data to pull from. So it would always be fair, and first come, first serve is fair.
Yes.
Now the question that's coming to my mind is, if I'm on all three exchanges, Binance, HitBTC, Bittrex, which I have accounts at all three exchanges, does the API, if one of the exchanges has more volume of trades on it, does it automatically switch over and place that trade on another exchange for me, or how does that work?
No, the data would be read independently. So what happens on Bittrex is independent of what happens on HitBTC. So you have your secret and your API key for HitBTC, and then you get a HitBTC signal, and that HitBTC trade and the trailing stop. All of that is independent of anything.
Oh, so I could actually make a trade on all three exchanges.
You can.
Well, yeah, you
but
can,
but it would be a different signal. So
Right.
let's say something happened with Monero, and all three signals, you would get three signals that would come out. So
Okay, so
Yeah.
take three different trades on three different exchanges, push the button
Right.
3 times.
right, and if you only had one exchange, that would be the only signal that you got.
yeah, because your funds have to be within the same exchange in order to do the buy
Right.
sell quickly. Yeah.
Right, and you might have $5,000 on Bittrex and $1,000 on HitBTC, so you could do a $15 trade on HitBTC and a $50 trade on Bittrex. So it's all we need to know is what you want to do, trade amount wise, and then facilitate us by providing your API. Very simple. And then we take care of the rest if you push the button. So everything a professional trader would do, that's what we do, but just with that one click.
Okay, as far as the subscription, the monthly subscription,
Yes, sir.
is it the same no matter what the size of the account is behind it?
Yes, it's just $100. It's $99 a month. And that's it.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
not
unlimited.
okay.
So-
So just so I'm clear on that, the if I'm on HitBTC and I have a blockchain, and then Binance and all that, that $99 covers all that, right? It doesn't mean that $99 for HitBTC, $99 for
Right.
okay, great,
That's right. Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And if-
Everything is just simple.
Yeah, and if I'm only on HitBTC, I'm only going to get signals for HitBTC, right?
That's right.
'Cause there's okay, all
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
There's a couple of questions, Troy, if you don't mind. I wanted to ask regarding your terms and condition.
Okay.
The
I'll try to go
first
from
one.
memory.
That's all right. I'll read it to you.
Okay.
It says that you have your customer service based in United States. I think you guys kind of misspelled that. It's you guys have United Stated with a D instead of states.
Oh yeah, it's a new country.
That's right. After
Yeah.
the coronavirus, it's going to be United Stated.
Oh yeah. I'm from Texas. Where are you from?
I'm from California.
California?
Yeah,
Troy,
we're on
where are you
lockdown.
from? Yeah. We're right behind you.
Troy, where are you from?
I'm in Branson, Missouri.
Okay. Very good.
He's still
Yeah,
free
a
to
little bit
roam.
north and way north and far west.
Chicago,
Very cool.
Chicago.
Yeah. So it says that you have customer support based in the United States and the United Kingdom. So this really means that this software is legal here in the U.S.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah.
great.
And here's the big thing, because people will ask you that. Our users dictate when the trade happens. Okay, it's not an automatic bot, and our users always have control of their own crypto. They're not handing it over to a company. It's not USI Tech or one of those. I didn't do USI Tech for that reason.
Neither did I.
Yeah. Customers initiate the trade, customers maintain control of their crypto. Every regulator, every issue that's ever happened in crypto has been the opposite. I didn't
Right.
want to take that trade. No, you took all my crypto and I never got it back. That's what the customers say, and that's what the regulators rightfully fix, right?
Right.
So everything that we do is for the customer. It's their APIs. They initiate the trade. Commissions are instant. There's no waiting. There's no people expect one commission and receive another. It's just all in real time, and it's all transparent for those reasons.
So for the people who are rewatching this thing, basically they're supplying the software. So it's perfectly
Right.
legal to supply a trading software as long as you don't carry the funds or anything. So thank you for
Oh,
that,
yeah.
JD.
Sure.
That's the only reason why I'm asking all this is because people, when they rewatch it, they want to make sure, are we safe? Are we legal? Are we this? Are we that?
Yeah.
My next thing on E of your terms and conditions is that you may choose not to accept your order to use the system at your sole discretion and may choose to terminate your account even after we send you a confirmation email with your order number and details of the items you have ordered. Give me a scenario where that might happen.
Where someone just decides they don't want to do it.
No, I think it's more of you, the company here at your sole discretion could choose to terminate their account.
Oh, yeah. So hypothetically, if Barry, and I want to, don't let me forget, I need to talk about, I'm an owner, but I want to talk about my position with the company and my outward reach. So we'll talk about that shortly. But if someone went online and said, I swear on everything that is good, 99% of these trades bring me at least 10% profit, right? They're out, and it will not be a very long conversation. So that would be one of the
False advertising claims. I got
right.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So false
Great.
advertising or misleading networking, somebody that was just a constant pain in the ass. We're all adults. We expect people to act like adults. And the best thing about being an adult is you get to choose who you want to work with. So
Right.
While
That's
we're on
good.
that note, why don't you touch a little bit about the 7-day paper trial and what is
Yeah.
considered a customer versus an affiliate?
Sure. So the 7-day free trial is paper trading, and we do that to provide an opportunity for someone to come in, take a look, kick the tires, etc. Because the nature of Bitcoin is when you make a payment, the payment's done. Payment's done. So in the UK, that's the prevailing customary situation where if you do a Bitcoin transaction, it's done. If you offer a free trial to check it out, then that's the exposure. That's your pre-refund scenario, right? You entered into it as a big boy, a big girl. The free trial was available to you. You decided to do it. A month later, you want your money back. That doesn't work. Okay, so that's customary there. The difference between, Barry, you wanted me to talk about the difference between a customer and an affiliate.
Correct.
A customer is anybody that has a subscription. Okay, an affiliate is someone that has earned $600 or more US in referral commissions.
And a super affiliate?
Super affiliate, someone that has 5 active customers. That's it. So those are the only 3 designations that we even have. We have technically a rank, but it's just one rank. No golds, no diamonds, none of that. Just simple. We intentionally, my favorite's a hybrid binary, just a personal favorite to me. I like direct commissions. I like the binary for explosive growth. I like matches because, if you're going to put a leader on your strong side, you want to at least earn a match, knowing that you're putting a drop in the ocean. you got to have a match. So that's my perfect compensation plan. But Bitcoin does not mesh well with binary because of stored volume. You know, Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down. You've got stored volume, you know, 1,000 sales on your strong side. And then you get matching volume on your weak side. What do you pay out? And even though it's stated, inevitably a sales rep is going to think it was different, right? So we walked away from that, of course, and we follow suit with the rest of the Bitcoin industry and the rest of the internet. Everybody understands affiliate. You know, Amazon has an affiliate program. Walmart has an affiliate program. Bank of America pays referral commissions. So keep it simple, unilevel, 9 levels. For people that go above and beyond, you know, 5 sales, it's not easy, but it's not hard either. So we pay out an infinity bonus on that. And through 9 levels plus infinity, that's plenty of money to go around, and it's a very handsome comp plan.
Yeah, a little bit over 70% with instantaneous pay.
Yeah.
You know, move fast.
Yeah, and I think if you make a comp plan way too complicated, it just makes people kind of go, you know,
Yeah.
and it's hard to explain that. And then when you have a minor change, oh my gosh, it's just like training all over again. And it's
Yeah.
like, forget it. When it's way too complicated, people will walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn it. I had a guy, funny story, probably edit this out of the video, but guy, we went to program his comp plan. This was almost 20 years ago. And he handed me a 3-ring binder and said it was perfect. And that was his comp plan that we had to program. And I couldn't talk him out of it. And it was ridiculous. But yeah, simplicity goes a long way, especially with crypto. You know, it's already complicated enough. Why do you want to get crazy with a comp plan? You know, our tagline, do you guys know what it is? Yep. Powerfully simple.
Well, that's where the one click comes in, right?
That's right. Yeah.
One click, powerfully simple. I like it.
Yeah, powerfully simple.
What?
How refreshing is that? Everybody's smiling right now because you're like, oh my God, I don't have to spend 2 hours explaining the comp plan.
Yep. One click
Yeah.
and you understand the comp plan.
Yeah. Sign up here. It's
Great.
9 level, unilevel with an infinity bonus. That's it.
Talk about your script, how I would go ahead and
Oh,
mention-
yeah, I wrote a little script here, you know, and I am definitely not going to be an outward presence in the marketing of this, just because other people are better looking and they tell the story better than I do. But yeah, you could literally just ask your friend, your brother, coworker, are you doing crypto? Or I know why you're not doing crypto. It works better when I have the script in front of me, but you can ask someone, are you doing crypto? They say no. You say, why not? Well, it's complicated. I don't know I could trade. You know, I didn't know I could trade. So the script starts out very simply. I know why you're not trading crypto. You didn't know you could. It's too complicated. It's too hard. You didn't know what to trade. You didn't know when to trade. You didn't even know where to get started. And last year, that excuse would have been correct. It would have been fair, but not anymore because of everything that we're offering. I found a company that sends me a signal where all I've got to do is take 1 click, and it does everything a professional trader does, and it's got a referral program that I understand. I tell someone who tells someone who tells someone, we all get paid, and it's great. And I want you to take a look or whatever you want to personalize it with, but it's just that simple. And I think that style, just my opinion, I think that's the new way to do it. I mean, imagine a guy with his earbuds in taking a selfie while he's on a jog. Okay, that's today's style of marketing. And he puts that out and he posts it. People are like, what are you talking about in this? They say, DM me. You know, I'm not a social media expert. You know, I got my first Instagram just because I had so many people telling me I was missing out. And it makes sense. You know, I got a separate Facebook for my family pictures and stuff like that, and a separate Facebook for marketing. it's how it's done now. But anyway, I'm excited about what we're doing. It's simple. Everything's been thought of, and what hasn't been thought of yet will be general consensus, best case scenario, democratic, diplomatic, ethical, simple response. It will never be complicated. It will never be greedy. It will never be, every situation will be considered from a customer standpoint, from an affiliate standpoint, both the new guy and the seasoned guy, because you have, it's not only for the new guy. There's people that grow the company and they deserve to be compensated. So it's, I think this is going to sound arrogant, but I think that in any situation, what we've got is better than what is out there. We don't have a 50,000 square foot warehouse. We don't have shipping problems. Our product doesn't melt sitting in the back of a truck. You can't choke on it. You don't have to be able to, you don't have to know what glutathione is, or, B12.
Yeah.
It's not a doubler, right? You're not handing your hard-earned money over to a company and crossing your fingers hoping that they trade with it, knowing, you don't have to be in first so that you're most likely to get your money back. It's nothing like that. It's for the customers. It's for the honest affiliates. It's to create a way for crypto exposure to get out to the masses in a safe environment. And that's what we're about. So
JD, I have to ask. JD, I have to ask. When are you launching this thing?
yeah, as
Just
soon
joking.
as possible. We've been working on it for about 2 years. And just in normal conversation, I would tell people, don't talk about it, don't bring your leaders in, don't have conversations. And then the cat kind of got out of the bag a little bit. So we said, okay, you guys can sign up just to demonstrate our commission process works. Everything works perfectly. It's a 9-level unilevel with an infinity bonus, so it's not complicated. All of that's working perfectly. We've been working on the algorithms and the platform for about 2 years. About the same time I've known Barry. And theoretically, if everything goes according to plan, it won't be a big celebration with a balloon launch and things like that where we'll have 1,000 people walking across the stage. We're just going to flip the switch. All right, Target's Friday or Saturday of this week. If it's not, it's not. There's not even 100 people that even know about us. So, that's the way we want to keep it.
One quick question, JD.
Yes, sir.
How well capitalized is your company?
Perfectly fine. It's debt free. It's digital, so the cost is literally servers, programmers, customer support, and that's it. And then in the future, it's taxes and expansion. Okay. YouTube is basically free. Marketing is basically free. We know exactly. And the cool thing about it is when $99 US comes in, we know to the penny what's going out. So there's not a question mark on our biggest expense, which is commission. So we're perfectly capitalized.
Very good. Can you talk a little bit about your team? I assume you've got a team of people, programmers, investors, that sort of thing. How large is the team, or is it just a one-man show?
I've got 2 partners. Okay. We've all invested in it, but we don't have outside investors. So we don't answer to, a bank we weren't funded by someone else. So this is our own funding. This is our own investment, our own time. So I've got myself, which, to be perfectly frank, I won't be I won't be doing webinars. I won't be doing marketing. And I truthfully don't even want to be on the website. Okay. I spent my time on stage you know, taking the midnight phone calls and things like that. And it honestly almost killed me, because it's extremely hard for me not to answer the phone when someone calls. And it was, you know, it cost me a lot of time with my family. And I'm circling back to that. And it's not out of arrogance. It's not out of selflessness or selfishness. It's just, of our players right now, I've got the most experience on the corporate side. And I want to be the guy to make sure that the signals go out, that the commissions are operating perfectly. I want to be the guy to facilitate an ease of use that is unprecedented with apps and trading, okay, and customer support. I want to make sure everybody's perfectly trained. You know, when a customer calls in or emails in and says, "What is EMA?" Okay, there's a million different ways to answer that. There's a long, boring explanation, which is sometimes necessary, and I need to make sure that my customer support person knows the difference. Okay, so that's where I want to spend my time. I've got Doyle Schuler. I've known him for around 10 years. I'm not sure exactly, but it's about 10 years. We've shake hands. We know each other very well. We've worked together very well in the past, and he was invited to be a part of this, okay, for a lot of good reasons. He's a very knowledgeable.
On the videos, just so you know.
Yeah, he's the voice on the video, so he's got the charisma and the looks, but he's got the integrity. I always talk about his looks because he looks like Val Kilmer. He looks like a movie star to me. But, he's got the mindset of a user. You know, he's been on both sides of the equation, corporate and in the field. He's a very seasoned networker in terms of getting things done. He does not jump from one thing to the next. He's a classical business person that understands exponential growth and networking and crypto. So he was a perfect fit. Our other partner is Richard Hornshaw. He's again been on both sides of the equation. He understands networking. He understands business. He's an educator by trade, and he understands how to treat people. He understands how to be treated. And his contribution is, I'm going to say, his moral compass is perfect, you know, because there's a hard line between right and wrong, and you don't have to be so black and white that you can't take care of people. But at the same time, there is right and wrong. So him being an outward presence on the webinars and communicating with the field primarily, I'm confident, and I feel confident in his ability to be in charge of that. So
He runs the Facebook page, the private Facebook.
he runs the Facebook page, yeah, with Doyle too.
Okay.
So yeah. Our coding team, it's some people are more involved than others, but there's a dozen or so programmers that we've partnered with. The specifications for what we are, sorry, I was using my phone as a backlight so I could do this, and the battery died. Let's see if I can get a little light. Lost my train of thought. Our coders are seasoned, crypto-specific coders. I can hold my own against any coder in MLM programming. Although I'm not specifically a coder, I would consider myself a junior coder, but you know, I did help write some code that was insanely complicated with absolute values and timestamps, and it was just a lot of fun. And I'm very proud of what we've done. So we've got a full team of professionals that have everyone's best interest at heart. you know, we're going to make money. The field's going to make money. Our customers are, and you know, we can't guarantee it, but they're going to be very happy with our signals. They're going to be very happy with our functionality, and we're going to play by the book. We're going to make sure all of our I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and everyone's happy. And you know, I hope we get 1 million people. I hope we get 1 million people, and everything works out perfectly.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys are here for the ride. So that's what
Well, I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it because,
thank you.
you know, number one, I believe in the blockchain. I believe in cryptocurrency, and I think this is a way to get more people involved, which will drive the values up. Market, you know, the market cap. You put more dollars in crypto, more people use it. I think right now they say about 2% of the world's population, or less than 2%, even has a Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah, I believe that. It's something around 50 million people.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it is because they, you know, right now with the coronavirus and everything else, people really need something to work, something that they control, something that doesn't, you know, they have to put in and then wait till it doubles, or there's something that locks them in for, you know, 60, 90, you know, 6 months before they make money. You know, they have total control of their own funds, and I think that's what people need, because you never know what's going to happen in the next month or so. They may need that money to, you know, offset some other bills or something. So,
yeah.
Well,
I'll add to that, and I'll just tell you, since you brought up the current situation with the coronavirus, cash and cash equivalents were really the only thing that held their own. And metal dropped, stock exchanges dropped, and crypto dropped. So, you know, real estate here, at least here in the U.S., you've got to assume it's not going anywhere. I mean, you got to assume that there's not going to be any buyers.
right.
And so literally everything across the board fell apart except cash, and toilet paper price went up.
I still cannot understand.
Maybe hand sanitizer too.
Yeah. So
See, I can understand the hand sanitizer, but I cannot understand the toilet paper. I don't know where that came from.
You know, I think society is a little hyper focused on, you know, near the belt area in life. There's a lot more important things than, you know, you got to be clean. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying priorities, you know, whatever.
So basically, we're kind of waiting for some touches on programming with algorithms, or mostly from the App Store with Apple and Android.
It's all of the above. You know, I don't want to give the impression that we've got a very specific hard date on launch. And if you guys can see me okay, I'm okay. But if you need me to get this light, okay.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. We're not open, right? And my partners and I tell them this, they tell me the same thing, and we tell that less than 100 people, however many people it is that even know about us, when we launch, it will be perfect, and that's it. And our target is this coming up weekend. Do we have to have an app to launch? No, we don't. We could just use a web-based system, and you click it. But we know that our customers would rather have an app on their phone, right? So that if they're in an elevator, or if they just woke up and their laptop's not on, their computer's not on, a signal comes in, they can just click it, right? So that's best case scenario. That's our target. It's what we want. We could have launched the moment that our commissions paid out, you know, when we walked away from the binary and went straight unilevel for all those good reasons we mentioned. We could have launched way back then and had people waiting for 6 months or 8 months. You know, that's not the right way to do it. You just, when everything works, you launch. So we are very close to that. Our target's this weekend. And, you know, if it's Thursday when our beta testers say we're 100% cool with these signals, we're 100% cool with the performance, what bought and what sold, and the functionality with the stop, it might be Thursday night, but at the same time, it might be next Thursday. If we get 1,000 people that come in between now and next Thursday, all the commissions will pay out. And our renewal date, you know, someone signs up today and we don't launch for 2 weeks, we're not going to bill them 2 weeks after that. It's all pushed out. So you guys, Troy, David, there's no concern about, let me rephrase that. I don't have any concern about someone saying they cheated me, or my expiration date's messed up, or I wasn't treated correctly. You guys don't have that because we're just meeting for the first time. But I promise you, with every drop of blood in my body, I will defend our customers and I will defend our affiliates against outside sources, each other, ownership, corporate, customer support. Everyone's going to get along, or you can't get, they won't be here. And that's it.
Well, right on, JD. We've had you here for an hour, so we're gonna turn you loose. This is exciting. I mean, anybody that calls coding fun, you know, I think I want to follow you.
Yeah, that's funny. It was absolute value combined with a timestamp so that we could get RSI and compare it to stochastic RSI and EMA at 10, 25, 50. And that was our baseline before we really got crazy with the rest of it. So
Right on.
I think in the fourth dimension and not just time.
You know, one more thought that I love the lack of greed from the company and fairness. If, you know, if someone's in the hospital for a couple months and they managed to build a big team but weren't able to fulfill their subscription, the company's not going to take their downline. And so they could come back, you know, several months, pay their $99, and any commissions due to them will, will be in their wallet.
I don't know if we said it or not, but there is compression. So, you know, I don't know the order here specifically, but Troy, in my screen, Troy, if you signed up David, you signed up Barry. David, if you decide that's not for you for whatever reason and you leave, your personals would stay personal to you, but the first commission would pay out. You know, it would pay out. All $70 are going to pay out. So
dynamic compression, I think
dynamic
that's what they call it in the unilevel.
Right.
That's great.
And the company will alert you. Is it via email 7 days prior to your renewal?
We do. It's all written 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, 1 day, and the day of. So if someone renews, 7 days previous, it's still the renewal date plus 1 month. So yeah, it's really easy. The biggest, there's one more thing I need to talk about before we go. Being part of the Satoshi Show, I'm sure you have a lot of people write in and say, I've never had crypto, I want to get started, what do I do? Mm-hmm. Right? How many times have y'all answered that question?
More times than I can count.
Right.
We were just talking about that, Troy and I.
Yeah. So if they're free and clear and they're not tied to someone else that you work with, you say, and I'm just throwing this out there, you may have a different preference, but you say, go to Coinbase, fill out the information, and oh, by the way, use my link because we'll both make $10, right? Whether it's Coinbase or elsewhere. So literally just yesterday, I woke up in the morning and I said, best case scenario in my life would be to never have to have that conversation again. Never tell someone, stop where you're at, use my link, that way we both get paid $10. So I thought we'll just make it available in our one-click back office where you put your Coinbase link and all your people see your link.
Oh my gosh, that's huge because there's some serious fees to be made, especially like on Binance.
Binance, exactly. So as people are signing up for exchanges, if they have, like HitBTC does not have affiliate, but Binance does. So when they trade, you're not tracking down all your people, making sure they're using your link. It's just automatic.
I love it. Oh,
Oh,
my
that's
gosh, I
great.
love it. This
Yeah.
is huge.
So when I tell you I live in the fourth dimension, right? It's not just time, it's everything that's going to happen starts now. Everything that will be in the future is tied to this moment. So
I'm surprised the company didn't try and take all those referrals for the exchange.
no.
That's
And that's
happened in other companies, especially
Sure.
with Forex trading,
Yeah.
Forex bots and things.
yeah, it'd be the easiest thing in the world for me to put a link in there to Coinbase. Go sign up here at Coinbase if you don't have it. But I know Barry, and Barry's going to be like, "What the hell, man? Where are you signing? Those are my leads. Those are my people."
Already thinking
So-
how I could capitalize off Troy and his Binance account, but he's already got the account, so I don't think.
Right. So that's what I talk about when I talk about ease of use. I want everything to be that simple.
That's
We don't-
great.
Don't need to. I don't want a 80-year-old quilting expert to have to explain EMA to their neighbor. Let me do that. If they want to know about it, they can watch this video,
Mhm.
right? And that's it.
Well, you guys do have some great videos already, so
Thanks.
compliment you on that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. And
So-
that's just the beginning. So
Can we sign people up right now?
you can, but do me a favor. Just talk to the people that can understand that we're not live.
Yeah.
The commissions will be automatic, but there won't be any signals. And if they're okay with that, they can sign up. And we'll push the start date out to whenever it's going to be. But our target is this weekend. So I trust you guys. Y'all asked the perfect questions, right? So I trust you guys. And I told Barry earlier. He said, "Can you do a webinar?" I said, "Yeah, of course," because we had that conversation too. So if you want to bring in your people, I think it would be really cool to have 1,000 people in here when we flip the switch. So that's just you can sign people up. Just help me help you.
Okay. Well, we'll just let them know that their 7-day trial doesn't start until the actual.
We didn't even turn that on because if we did, we'd have 10,000 free people signed up right now, and we don't want that.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to know, an inactive person who signs up on your link right now that does not pay the $99, they will not be able to recruit
Yeah.
other active people.
The trigger for your link to be active is currently a paid subscription, and you have to have your Bitcoin wallet address. That's your wallet, not our wallet, but your BitPay or your whatever
Uphold or
wallet
whatever.
has to be saved because we pay out commissions in real time. So your link is not active until your Bitcoin wallet address is saved.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so
Okay.
much, JD. Thanks, Barry,
Thank-
for setting this up.
My pleasure.
I'm going to throw in a quick disclaimer before we close out the recording here. Past performance is no indicator of future performance. The historic returns don't matter, and there is risk in cryptocurrency trading. And all business has risk. All right, guys. God bless. Have a great day, and thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.